Hello everyone, this is Sanjeev from interviewbox.tech. Thanks for coming to my channel. In this video, I'm going to talk about the list Python data type. So list is a collection of different object types. It's similar like your grocery basket where you put different kind of items in there. So list also hold a different kind of object types. List is represented by square brackets and use commas to separate the objects in the list. As you can see in the example that I mentioned here, the item like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 all are separated by comma in the list. List has the very like a variety of methods that works on the list, and list also supports indexing and slicing. It's a very similar that we have seen in my previous video with the string data type. List can also be nested, and if you are designing like some kind of board game, tic-tac-toe or chess, so that's where the nested list is very useful. So let's go to PyCharm and execute some of the command. So here's my PyCharm window. As you can see, I have a previous file that I covered in the previous tutorial. Let's create a new file today. I will say list data type. Uh, first start with like how you define your list. So if I say number, that's how you write like empty list. There's no element in define, or you can say numbers list, and you can add element in there. So you created integer list here, and if you want to print it, you can say print command number list, execute this. As you see, the output is the list 1 2 3 4 5. You can also check the type just to be make sure that yes, it's a list type that you have just created. So again, it's the same method like a type method. So when I print this, as you see, it says class of list type. So your data type for this variable numbers list is a list data type. So next I'm going to talk about the indexing. Indexing in the list also start with the 0, and from the backward it start with a -1. So for example, if we want to grab the first element of the list, it will be similar. So at the 0th location, it will give you the first element like the 1 here, and the similar with the last element with a -1 index, and it gave you the 5. So that's how the indexing works in the list as well. Very quick, I want to talk about the length function on the list that will give you the total length of the list. So for example, let me create my new list. I want to show you that you can add different kind of object type element in the list. So for example, I add to this integer. I can say hi, hello, 3.14. So I added integer, strings, and float value. So let's quickly print this just to make sure that yes, our list is created, and we can see here. Um, so length function to give you number of item in the list. So as you see, it says 5 element in your list. So 2, 3, hi, hello, 3.14. So that's how it works. for the length function. Next, I'm going to talk about properties and methods on the list. So there are different kind of methods that the list is supporting. So we will go over that one by one. Let me comment it out a couple of stuff so we don't need that. So as I only have strings. So first one is list is mutable. That means you can replace the element in the list or change the element in the list. This is unlike the string that we have seen in previous video. Strings are immutable that you cannot change, but then if you want to edit your string, you can use the slicing and concatenation uh, to make the changes in your string. So let's look here, the mutable property of the string. So first one is not first one, I mean let's start this one. So for example, we want to replace the second element in the list with something else. So for example, I will say morning is kind of like, saying the different word. So now you updated the second element is basically the second index location element. So that will be uh, high, and you are replacing high with the morning. So now if I print my list, you will see it's replaced with the morning. So as you see in the list in the output, here the high is replaced with the morning. So that's how you can change it, and that's represent the mutable properties of the list. Now I will go over some of the method in the list. So first let's talk about append. So append method is used if you want to add element in the list, but append is only added the element at the end of the list, and you can only pass one element. So let's start with this. So you say, so if you want to add um, some other kind of element, you say, like for example, apple. So you added the apple at the list, and let's check it out. So now you print your list and you will see it added apple at the end of the list. So that's how you add the element. But for example, you have a different list. For example, you say another second list is your, like for example, some number. Um, so for example, this list, and you want to merge this second list. You want to add this whole list with your first list. So that is used by the extend method. So you will say my list dot extend, and then you will pass your second list. So now if you will print your original list, it will have your second list as well. So let's run it, and you see your both lists are merged now in a one single list. So that's how you can add like more than one element in your original list by using the extend method. So next I'm going to talk about um, insert method, and as you know, like as you just see, the append method is only adding the element at the end of the list, but if you want to add element like somewhere other location in the list, so you can use insert. And insert method, you have to pass the index where you want to add. So for example, um, you want to add element as like third location, so you will pass like the index, and your item will be Facebook, something like that. So you added at the third location Facebook, and now you print this to just verify that it worked. So when we'll press enter, and then as you see, it enter the Facebook at the third location. So 0th, 1st, 2nd, and then 3rd. So that's how you can insert element at any other location. So now let's talk about removing the elements from the list. So first method is pop. So pop method works similar if you, for example, let me write here. So if you don't pass any index or index in the pop method, it by default is gonna remove the last element in the list. So for example, if I say, and if I print that deleted item, it will be the last element from the list, and that will be Oliver. And as you see, so it basically uh, delete that element, and you can capture in deleted item and you print. And now if I print my list, my original list, as you will see, it will not have Oliver in there. So let's print it out, and as you see, Oliver is not in the list, it's removed. So that's how you provide that. But the similar, if you want to delete any other element, not just the last, then you can pass the index location. And for example, let's see this, my list pop off like, and you want to remove like again the third, for example, you want to remove the Facebook from the list, and you, so you again deleted item and you run there, and let's print deleted item. And as you see, it's delete the Facebook from the list. And if you want to confirm, you can just print your original list and here. So in the final list, there is no Facebook element in there. So that's how you delete the element either from the end or like from any other location. Another method is clear method. That is basically if you want to just remove all the elements from your list just to make the list like empty. So you can say my list dot clear. You run this, and when you print my list, as you see, it just returned the like empty list. So that means just removed all the elements from your list. So let me now comment it out this everything. uh, we don't need this. Okay, so we still have our original list. Okay, so next I'm going to talk about some of the other useful function, like for example index function. So that will if you know your item name and you want to get the index of that item in your list, so you can use that. So for example, in your list, and if you want to know what is the index of hello, so what it's going to do is you just pass index of hello. So, and let's just print out this the index. And as you see, it says third index location. So hello, if you look our original list, so it's like 0th, first, second, and third. So hello is at the third location. So that's how you can find the index location. Next, I'm going to talk about the count. That is basically count like how many times um, your element is presented in the list. So like for example, I will say 3 is here. I can put like 3 is here, 4, 3 again, 5, 6, 3 again. So as we see, like how many times we have 3 in the list, so like 1 and then 2, 3, 4, 5. So if you want to know that, what you can do is just use the count method. and you pass the item that you are looking, how many times it is there. So execute and you see 5. So that how it tells you like how many times your item is in the list presented. Next one, I'm going to talk about the reverse function. So what the reverse function is do is basically reverse your list in place. So it will not give you the output or return anything, but it just reverse the list. So for example, let's create a new list. I will say number list and 5. And if I want to reverse it, it will be so you ran this, it's going to reverse it, and now you can just print your um, the number list. And as you see, it just reverse your list in place. So now your list is permanently reversed. So next is like a sort method. So what I'm going to do is create another list. So as you see, I created this. This is not sorted, but if you want to sort your list, what it's going to do is use the sort method with this. So now you run this, and if you print your list, it's going to be sorted. So here, so it sorted your list. So sort method is useful when you want to sort your all the items in your list. So next I'm going to talk about the join method. This is very useful, and this is the method that, for example, if you have a list of strings and you want to convert that into like a string format, like a string type, so that is very useful. For example, I will say um, so let's create this. So I'm creating so I created this string, and as you see here, like I quote in like double and single the some of the element. So you can use either double quote or single quote. Both are acceptable in Python. So I created this greet list with the 3 different string, and if I want to join like in a one single string where it says like hi good morning, so you can use a join method, and so you can use this and you pass your list in there. So that, so when I will run this, and you will see it's gonna be say hi good morning. So as you see, it says hi good morning. So that's how you can join the list from the string. But for example, you have integer in there, so you cannot join basically or concatenate integer with the string. So this will give you some error. So for example, if I ran this, and you see here it says expected string instance but int found. So you cannot concatenate integer with the string. So if you have to use that, you have to typecast to the string. So now if you run this, it's gonna give you hi good morning 23. So that's how you basically use the join method in the list. So next I'm gonna talk about is slicing, and that's another important feature, like how you use the slicing in the list. For example, now let's comment it out all these things. I just want to work on the one string, like number list, for example. So we have this. So what you can do is let's first my list. If I run this, so I still have this original list, my list. So slicing is works in the same way as I mentioned in my another video with the string. The format um, is start, stop, and step. So so start is basically the index location where you want to grab the subsection of the list, so that will be the index location. Stop where you want to stop, but it will not include in there. And step, like how you want to jump in your list. So as we have list is like 2 3 hi hello all this. So if you want to grab for example just hi and hello in the list, so what you can do is, so you create a new list with your start index would be 0 1 and 2, and then go to 4 because you don't want to include 4, but you will have like 2 and 3. So when you will print this, you will see you will get the list of hi and hello. So let's run, and you see there's the output of hi and hello like a new list here. So that's how the slicing works in there. And there's a very quick shortcut, like if you want to reverse your list, that is you can just reverse your list with -1 as a step size. So you say my list is colon colon -1. You run there and you see it's basically reverse your list, but this is just like a printing. It's not like permanently reverse your list. So that's how you work on that one. And the last thing I'm going to talk about the nested list that I mentioned before, that it has if you want to design like some kind of board game, so that's where you design that. So for example, if I say chess list, and it's basically list of lists. So now you have like 3 lists under of the big list. So, and if you want to grab like first list under the big list, it's work as the same, like same indexing. So you can say print chess list of 0, so that is gonna give you the first list. So let's run this, and you see you get the 1 2 3. So that's how it works. And if you want to grab the first list of the second element, so you can say 1, and it will give you this second element. So as you see this one, so that's how you can do the nested list. So that's all for this video. Thank you very much again for watching this video, and if you like this video, please press the like button and subscribe to my channel. I am going to post like videos for more data types and then the advanced feature of the Python regularly. So I'll see you guys in my next video. Thank you very much and have a great day.